What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Couldn't script it any better. I mean, my player gets an interception in the first franchise game we run. However, wheels fell off from there. The Montreal Terrapins make the long trip over to Indy, and someone's has to go next week. Hopefully, it is ours. So I guess the bright spot would be we're leading the league in passing. I mean, that's going to happen when you can't establish the ground game and only rush for 4 yards. So the 275 passing yards we put up look pretty good, but obviously come in a really one-dimensional effort where, you're going to lose any game of football when you're really that limited. Going and taking a look at our injuries here, we did lose one of our starting offensive linemen, Jimmy Wallace. 2 weeks isn't all that bad. When you go through here, take a look at the rest of the league, I guess you could see we made out a little bit easier than most. Obviously, some season enders here already, so I guess you hate to see that. I will say these are also part specific. You look at Patrick Crawford with a broken finger as a halfback, that's going to be a much bigger problem than it would be for, say, a lineman. So there's not only a nice variety of injuries, but there's also a nice variety in recovery time. So kind of nice to see that attention to detail paid. Now, how do we deal with Jimmy Wallace and this torn meniscus? This is a 31-year-old player, so I don't know how long he was going to be staying with us to begin with. Taking a look at free agency here, and it really comes down, in my opinion, to financials more than anything else. You take a look at players that are probably just going to be too far out of our salary range. We look at Leo Bell, 23 years old, pretty much the youngest one we've seen there, not going to pay $1.4 million when we only have just under 40 available. Dial it back to $1 million. Obviously, he signs with Baltimore, so that's not going to be a reasonable solution for us to pay more. When you go ahead and take a look at the financials, we only made $1 million in merchandise. We haven't had a home game yet. Obviously, that's upcoming. But we're still trying to dig ourselves out of this $205 million hole of running the team for the year. So that's not always going to be the easiest thing to do. Nicholas Moody as a defensive lineman, this guy, we got to find a way to draft him. I don't know what we're going to do, but I want to show you the scouting report. It costs $2 million. But if you make this investment, it does save you a good bit of time because you get a national look at where the best players are coming out of. That way you're not wasting recruiting time trying to figure out where the best players are going to be. Obviously, I know it's a little bit strange to not sign a player for $1.4 million and then buy a scouting report for $2 million, but it's a investment in the future of the team, so I don't mind spending money on those scouting reports. In fact, I actually like the depth they bring to scouting once you buy them. So obviously, with that said, kind of scooting through here, looking at the rest of the areas that we have players available from, spending those points on Nicholas Moody. I doubt we'll get him, but if we keep playing like this, we'll certainly be able to pick whatever player we want in the draft. So with that said, obviously going to head off to the home game for Montreal. I will let you guys watch that game in its entirety. Appreciate you checking this out. And I will be back in the week with more commentary.